Veniamo, volete dire Rosie?
Oh, me. Thank you. I've had a very, very special morning. I'm not sure what time it is. Is it? And I'm sure that you've had a really great morning too. The display of bikes was something. It was really something. I think it's a really great display of unity. And that's what really is. Thanks, James. It's a really strong display of unity, and both men and women riding equally together on their bikes. I don't know how much better it gets, but I think it gets as good as this. And a lot of heartfelt words. Phil Cleary always speaks with amazing passion. I have met Phil now several times. We've talked at length. His view of this situation is spot on. And what his family have gone through, I couldn't imagine. But our court processes and systems are far from perfect. And anyone going through the family law court will know it is a tough gig. And we have a long way to go before we have magistrates and judges understanding the complexities and not blaming the woman. I really admire not just the women in the room, but the men in the room, because it is confronting. It's really confronting to understand the depth of this trouble, this problem, and that it's at the core that it is a gender issue, that it is men's view of women as their possessions, and that it is about power and control. Greg was not a bad man. He was an everyday man. But over a journey of disappointment and failure, and he did lose control over me finally. But I never did marry him, and I never did live with him. But I was subjected to his violence for 12 years. And how do we know where to go? Well, it would be nice if you could think about going to the police station. The police do a relatively good job, but they have also a long way to go before every policeman understands this issue. But they're on a journey. They are on a journey like all of us. And we demand respect on that journey. And it's by teaching the people that should be protecting us sometimes how to handle this situation, because occasionally and very often they let us down. They don't understand the degree of danger we're in. They don't believe us, and they minimise the risk. We pay the consequences. Luke would have been thrilled today to see you all on your bikes. He would have been slightly embarrassed to see me. Because you see, kids are always embarrassed about their parents, and Luke was always highly embarrassed about me trying to sing or anything like that. But he had great humour, a great spirit. He would have loved the song, and I really feel very emotional that someone has actually written a song for me. Because we have to be strong and we have to keep going. And I was just thinking yesterday that you have to have faith, whatever your faith is. And it's individual for everybody. And faith doesn't mean you have to go to church. But you have to believe in something. And you have to have purpose and meaning in your life, wherever you find it. Because without it, you lack. I feel really lucky that over many years I have my own spiritual belief system and path, and it's a journey. And I still have faith. I have faith in the goodness of people. And that faith is restored on days like this. Because there are more good people in the world doing good things, like us, everyday people. And that's why when you do something like this, you're so energised and hopeful because change has to happen, and it is. And we're part of that change. When I grew up on a farm. My mother died when I was 6, and again, launched into a very unsafe sense of abandonment, that the person who you go for comfort when you have a nightmare had gone. But my dad did the best job he could, and he's a good man. But I didn't get the emotional support. I was told, be a big girl, don't cry. And I grew up knowing that my brothers would inherit the farm, and because I was a woman or a girl, I wouldn't have that privilege. I grew up with my brothers being encouraged to go to college, but I wasn't. I grew up with very different sets of rules, as we all did. But now, what we want is equality for both our daughters and our sons, that they can choose whatever life path they want, and they don't have to work harder or be stronger, that there is equality because until we see each other as complete equals in this world, the violence will continue. And that is the crux of the concern surrounding family violence, power and control, gender inequality. So it is within us all to look within our own backyards, with our own families, and it starts with us. And as Phil said, it's not up to our politicians to start change, it is up to us, and by that demanding change.